Now on CoastTV News.
A new look at old homes. Delaware lawmakers looking to provide relief following property reassessments across the first state. Business on the home front, Lewis takes another look at its regulations for home businesses.
This is CoastTV News Midday.
Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Elisa Weber and welcome to CoastTV News Midday. A lot of states across the country reassess property values annually or every few years, but Delaware has been an outlier. Homes in Sussex County, for instance, were just reassessed for the first time in 50 years. Tax panic is leading lawmakers to hold a special session Tuesday to consider multiple bills aimed at reforming Delaware's property assessment process and protecting homeowners from what they call unaffordable tax increases. The majority of those tax dollars go to the public school system. Christina Vent, who works for Cape Henlopen School District, says that money is important.
I can tell you the schools do need the money, in particular in this area with the growth. As soon as the school's built, we're overcrowded, and so I support that the funds for the schools.
As Sussex County continues to grow and the state grapples with rising costs, lawmakers are trying to determine the best way to handle a bill. And the special session comes as some homeowners, especially in Newcastle County, saw their property values jump by over 500%, leading to huge tax bills. In response, the House filed 3 emergency bills, House Bill 240, 241, and 242, to provide short-term relief, including refunds, payment plans, and letting school districts adjust tax rates. The special session is set for Tuesday with lawmakers promising more permanent solutions in 2026. In Ocean City, Sunday was the last day boaters had the chance to get on the leaderboard and win a big prize in the White Marlin Open. Usually boaters can choose 3 out of the 5 days to fish, but due to the weather, Saturday and Sunday were also an option, allowing boaters to fish 3 out of the 7 available days. Jimmy David and his crew went out on Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday.
We had a good year. My buddy Nick got a nice mahi yesterday, so it was nice to bring that to the scale. First time really we ever made it to the scale, so we were happy to go there.
And take a look at one of the people who made it to the leaderboards. That's basketball icon Michael Jordan, who made a slam dunk at the scales. His boat, Catch 23, scored in second place in the White Marlin category with a 71-pound catch. And we are now going to take a live look outside at Rehoboth Beach on this Monday. Bob, it looks like a lot of people listened to us this morning, and we said if you're not working, you should be going to the beach because of the beautiful weather.
Absolutely, Elisa. That's where I would be going, headed to the beach on this beautiful day. It is really pretty out there. Lots of blue skies and temperatures rising now through the 70s to around 80 in Redden, 82 Seaford, Millsboro, and Dagsboro 78, and mid-70s at the coast right now. Those dew points beginning to creep up, 60s, and we're seeing some low 70s now, so a tad more humid than it was yesterday. A bit of a sea breeze along the coast from Lewis down to Ocean City. That will keep you a little cooler this afternoon with light winds inland right now. Visible satellite picture showing some pop-up cumulus clouds across the land area of Delmarva with some thicker clouds to the south. We've got some showers across the Carolinas, but high pressure will protect us today and keep the rain away. So here's noon on Futurecast, lower 80s inland, and I think we're staying into the 70s along the beaches by 2 p.m. 75 in Ocean City and Fenwick Island, 81 in Lewis, but up to 84 in Georgetown and Millsboro and Delmar, around 84, but that's still a little bit below average with lots of sunshine and good-looking conditions through this evening. Here's your day part forecast. I'm thinking low to mid 80s inland and some 70s at the coast, but we turn up the heat and humidity in the days to come, especially Wednesday and Thursday, with some increasing shower and storm chances. More on that coming up a little bit later in the newscast.
Thank you, Bob. Happening tonight, an update is expected over home-based businesses in Lewis. According to the agenda for tonight's council meeting, leaders will present an update on an ordinance that would allow these types of businesses. One woman who wants to run a dog grooming business in her Lewis basement sparked the Lewis Planning Commission to create a specific subcommittee. The subcommittee was tasked with reassessing all of its regulations in the growing area. The council will take place tonight at 5:30 at City Hall. Developing news, President Trump is reportedly thinking about declaring marijuana a less dangerous drug. 2 sources who attended a recent dinner at Trump's private club say the president disclosed he needs to look into loosening federal restrictions on marijuana. While campaigning for office, Trump signaled support for reclassifying marijuana as a lower risk substance. And this comes as Delaware's recreational market has now opened. The permission follows at least 2 years of legislation and planning. According to officials, medical marijuana dispensaries with conversion licenses can begin recreational sales. In December, the state awarded 15 open retail marijuana licenses across the state, with 5 in Sussex County. Governor Matt Myers says revenue from the new market will help fund education, public health, and infrastructure. New this morning, the Delaware Republican Party has elected a new chair. According to officials, Gene Truono will lead the party. The party states Truono is a lawyer with experience in financial services, business, and public service. This comes less than a month after former chair Julianne Murray stepped down. In Sussex County, District 20 Representative-elect Alana Berry will be sworn in after winning the District 20 special election. On your screen now is a post from Friday. Representative Berry in Dover at her new seat in Legislative Hall. Berry beat opponent Nikki Miller by just 121 votes. President Trump is set to meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin this week in Alaska in an effort to end the war in Ukraine. And as NBC's Alice Barr shows us, there are new questions now over whether Ukraine's president will be present for that meeting.
Preparations are underway for high-stakes talks at the end of the week aimed at ending Russia's war on Ukraine. President Trump set to meet Friday with Russian President Vladimir Putin in Alaska, with the potential for Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky to join.
The only way to make peace is to sit down and talk.
Vice President J.D. Vance met in England over the weekend with top Ukrainian officials and European allies, talking through Ukraine's peace proposals. As Russia keeps up its punishing attacks, President Zelensky has said Ukraine will not give up its land to occupiers, something President Trump said may be necessary.
There'll be some swapping of territories to the betterment of both.
White House Special Envoy Keith Kellogg heads to Ukraine today to continue talks. As a senior U.S. official tells NBC News, the White House is considering inviting President Zelensky to the Alaska meeting, though Russia's leader has said Ukraine was far from meeting its conditions for face-to-face talks. Democrats pressing for a Ukrainian presence and criticizing the location.
Putin is a war criminal. This is not a show of strength to allow him to fly into the United States.
Republicans pushing back, while some are calling for more protections for Ukraine.
Security guarantees to Ukraine to prevent Russia from doing this again.
President Trump heads into the meeting having sharply shifted his tone toward more vocal criticism of President Putin and threats of added sanctions, increasingly frustrated as the Russian assault drags on. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Coming up after the break, impact fee improvement. We'll tell you about the possible new rates in Georgetown regarding sewage and water fees tonight. Happening today in Georgetown, officials are set to hold a second reading and possible adoption of an ordinance regarding sewer and water impact fees. This is according to the agenda for the town council meeting. During previous discussions between town leaders, a decrease for impact fees for developers was being considered. The current rate sits at $7,400 per sewer and $1,099 for water. Georgetown's town manager believes that this decrease in fees will greatly benefit the town.
What it affords the town the ability to do is, if we need improvements, like we have a sewer line that's going to run through one property and it's being developed, we can ask that developer to put in additional improvements, a deeper sewer depth or additional sized water lines, and as a trade-off, the town's willing to forego part of the impact fees.
Town leaders will gather to discuss that new ordinance tonight at 7 o'clock. New this morning, a big day is coming for Milford students, staff, and families. Milford Middle School is officially ready to open its doors. Officials will hold a ribbon cutting next month. This comes after crews worked on restoring the building after over a decade of vacancy. The school closed its doors in 2012. The district cites a growing population as a driving force for the project. The event will include a tour of the newly restored school, and this will all take place on September 13th at 11 a.m.
We have a beautiful Monday underway. Makes it tough to go to work on a day like today. Cumulus clouds, puffy clouds, 78 in Laurel. And we're headed into the low to mid 80s this afternoon. Lots of sunshine, warmer temperatures as we go through the week ahead, and more humid as well. More on that coming up. Congratulations to Debbie Foster from Cambridge on winning a brand new umbrella from Paul Davis and Coast TV. I'll have your full forecast coming up next. We have an absolutely beautiful Monday underway. Here's the FH Fur Cam, some puffy cumulus clouds reflecting in the water. Just a beautiful shot there. 79 in Cambridge. Dew point temperatures starting to come up now into the upper 60s and low 70s region-wide. So we're starting to feel the humidity a little bit as we're warming into the low 80s into the afternoon hours. Storyline, seasonable conditions, sun and clouds, turning muggy Tuesday, and temperatures in the mid to upper 80s. Then late week, I think the hottest day is Wednesday. Temperatures near 90, but feeling like 100. And that thunderstorm chance does pop up both Wednesday and Thursday. Right now, we're looking at upper 70s to low 80s in Bridgeville and Seaford, 78 in Georgetown and Millsboro right now. A little cooler at the coast. You have a bit of a sea breeze here. So 76 Bethany Beach, Rehoboth 74, Ocean City 75. And those dew point temperatures starting to creep up now through the 60s into the low 70s. So becoming just a little more uncomfortable with time. And that trend will continue the next few days. So we have a bit of a sea breeze along the coast. That will keep you in the 70s today. But inland areas, I don't think we're going to get that breeze off the ocean. Inland areas, as we're seeing some cumulus clouds popping up on the visible satellite picture right now with some thicker clouds to the south. We do have a disturbance across the Carolinas that's kicking off rain here, some of that really heavy, but we've got high pressure over the top of us protecting us from that rain. So maybe a few clouds, but I think that system will be staying to our south. Here's Futurecast into this afternoon. Lower 80s from Ellendale to Delmar, about 85 in Salisbury, but there are those cooler 70s from Ocean City up to Rehoboth, around 82 in Lewis by 3 o'clock, 84 in Millsboro, 85 in Delmar. So a good looking afternoon, just a tad more humid. And then overnight, mostly clear skies, maybe some fog by the morning hours and not as cool as this morning, with temperatures in the 70s. And for your Tuesday afternoon, we could see a stray shower or thunderstorm, but I think the better chance holds off until Wednesday as we're looking at maybe some fog overnight Tuesday into early Wednesday. Otherwise, more in the way of clouds Wednesday. And as the disturbance heads our way, maybe some scattered showers and storms at that time. And Wednesday through Thursday, the humidity is rising. It's sticky and tropical air with more of those storms Wednesday into Thursday. Here's Thursday morning. We get a little break here, but then with the push of a cold front, we're seeing showers and some storms. I don't think we're looking at severe weather, and then it dries out heading into your Friday. Here's our muggy meter. We're into the humid range to very humid to miserable as we go through the week as the summer heat is coming back and feeling like close to 90 today, lower 90s Tuesday. I think Wednesday is the hot day with mid to upper 90s and still pretty hot into Thursday. We're tracking the tropics, perhaps the first hurricane of the season coming off the African coast. A very good chance of this developing perhaps into Erin with time. And right now we think it's going to move to the west-northwest and then hook out to sea and miss the east coast as we go through time. We'll continue to watch it, but right now whatever develops looks like it will be a fish storm. 83 in Georgetown, 82 in Millsboro this afternoon, 83 in Cambridge, Vienna 84, and into Salisbury 84 and mid-70s from Chincoteague to Ocean City. Temperatures warming up near 90 Wednesday and Thursday with that shower and storm chance. Dries out, cools off a little bit Friday, 87, then mid to upper 80s and looking good headed into the weekend.
Thank you, Bob. And coming up tonight on DSN, your game of the night at 8 o'clock, you can catch the episode of Into the Trenches, A New Voyage. Then at 10:30, it's the final score. Coast TV will be right back. You will likely need to pay more to send packages through the Postal Service this holiday season. That's according to a notice filed with the Postal Regulatory Commission. The Postal Service says its plans to temporarily increase the price for some services to help cover extra handling costs to ensure a successful peak season. The higher cost will cover Priority Mail Express, Priority Mail, and USPS Ground Advantage. If approved by the Commission, the temporary rates would go into effect on October 5th and will remain in place until mid-January. One home is in need of repair after a fire in Salisbury. The Salisbury Fire Department says this fire started on Sunday. You can see pictures from the scene on your screen right now. According to the agency, the house is located on Grant Avenue. The fire took place in a bedroom, but crews say they were able to quickly put it out, causing only limited damage. Coming up next, raising funds for furry friends will show you the event on Delmarva this weekend that hope to match pets with new owners. Raising funds for furry friends in Cambridge, Wags, Wings and Wheels had its inaugural event on Saturday. From live music, food trucks, classic cars and airplanes covered the Cambridge airport, all to raise money for the animals at Baywater Animal Rescue. Their executive director says the ultimate goal, finding these animals their forever home.
We love all of our resident shelters. We love them so much. We love having them, but in the end, our goal and our mission is to find them their forever homes. Animals belong in homes, not in shelters.
Malka says Baywater Animal Rescue is reliant on donations and is always looking for volunteers.
We're seeing lots of blue skies, gorgeous conditions on the tunnel razor cam, and we're warming into the low 80s at the beaches today. Beautiful day as temperatures continue to climb, and feels like temperatures near midweek around 100 degrees with some showers and storms. Call the Coast TV First Alert weather phone, sponsored by the law offices of Brockstead, Mandalis, Federico. Your 10-day forecast is next. The rest of our Monday looking really good. Lots of sunshine this afternoon. I think lower 80s inland, 70s at the coast as we see a sea breeze kick in. Paul Davis 10-day forecast up to 86 Tuesday, then near 90 Wednesday and Thursday, but feels like temperatures close to 100 with showers and storms Wednesday and Thursday. Dries out, cools off a little bit Friday. Right now the weekend looking good with mid to upper 80s with a mix of sun and clouds, and it looks like a bit of a cool down into early next week.
Thank you, Bob, and thank you for joining us here for Coast TV News Midday. And for more news and local weather, download our Coast TV News app. And don't forget to join us for Coast TV News at 5 later this afternoon. Have a great day.